Welcome to the Texas Goat Radio Show. I'm your host, Victorious. Owen is back on Twitter. He's been back on Twitter for a minute. We're going to go through a couple of his tweets and then go into some other things. But there's an analogy that I want you to follow. He is presenting an apple that's hanging on a tree that looks really pretty and red when you look at it. And a lot of people's going to go over there, pick that apple, and just take a bite out of it. And what they're going to find is there's going to be a worm in it, and it's because they didn't look at the whole apple. What I'm going to try to do is show you the whole apple before you, hopefully, take a bite out of it. Now, one of his tweets is, Amy worked on the cheese all day, grew the tomatoes last year, and grew the basil. Here's some wholesome content to balance out whatever nonsense people are currently pretending to be angry about. Now, you could take that a few different ways. How I'm going to take that is, it's a wholesome content to balance out whatever nonsense people are currently pretending to be angry about him about. This particular tweet has over 1,000 hearts, 73 comments, and I understand why people will be drawn to this, because it is wholesome. This is the other side of the apple whenever the people picking the apple, getting fed by him, whenever I say fed, they're listening to his words and they're not paying him enough money. This is how he responds. And this wasn't a couple of years ago. This was last week.
It's going to be a short stream. You guys can all go fuck yourself. Adam for the Alfredo. We only have one entropy. Okay, well, this is going to be a short stream. You guys can all go fuck yourself. Adam for the gravy. Thank you, Adam. I'm not kidding. We're landing the plane. I'm going to try and do this thing. It's going to be a short stream. You guys can all go fuck yourself. Adam for the gravy. Thank you, Adam. I'm not kidding. We're landing the plane. I'm going to try and do this thing short. I'm fucking... Oh, how dare you? We had like 80,000 people watch the stream and no one fucking cares. They're like, oh, it's everything's free. That's fine. You guys, you know what? Go enjoy. Because after talking to Curtis, it's like, someone left. I'm watching people fall back into the malaise. You know what's going to happen? This shit's going to hit the fan again. They're going to come fucking running back. And that's it. I don't need the sympathy. In the chat, people are like, oh, I give you a... Keep it. I don't give a fuck. One entropy? We used to have a page this long every fucking day. In the chat, people are like, oh, I give you a... Keep it. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, so what he's upset with is there's a thing called entropy, I guess, and it's where people give him money. And because not enough people are giving him money, he's going off the way he is. Now, there's something else that I want to show you here in just a second.
We used to have a page this long every fucking day. Jimbo revealed that you hate the Lord. Fuck you and the Lord. Oh, fuck the Lord.
He has no genuine compass to his soul that points in any direction except for money. And so to all the people that are looking at his brilliant display of luscious apples that he's sitting there hanging from his trees waiting on people to pick and give him money for it, because that's what he expects. And there's nothing wrong with that particular thought process, because a lot of people rely on their content to make them money. But whenever you present yourself as a leader, even a cult leader, it's really important to pay attention to how they act whenever they don't get what they want. And this is what he acts like when he doesn't get what he wants.
Yeah, watch this shit. Watch this yourself. I can't figure it out. Thank you, though. Why are these streams the funniest? Because it's just authentic. And I'm out of here after I read these fucking letters.
It's authentic. And then he'll come back and say it's a joke. It's not a joke because it's authentic. He said so himself. For more evidence of why you do not need to take the apple off the tree that is Owen Benjamin, is you can check out Milker Nation, and they have playlists of Owen Benjamin versus Jim Bob versus Jim Bob. Let's go to their actual page. You need to subscribe to them. You don't need to, but I would, especially if you're considering the saga of Owen Benjamin and supporting him. Owen Benjamin versus Jim Bob versus Nick Fuentes versus James True. The Owen Benjamin Bertaria fundraising scam. This is probably one of the most important things that you need to watch, especially with him pushing the Bertaria Times app and all the things associated with Bertaria Times. I'm not saying that everyone associated with Owen is problematic, but for somebody to watch somebody grovel for money the way Owen did and say the things that he did and still continue to support him, especially whenever there is no true substance of repentance, because he may be wrong, but he isn't lying. You can't repent with that, because let every man remain a liar so that God remains true. If you're not a liar, then you are one of the worst types of liars, because you're refusing the absolute truth of humanity. Humans lie. That's what we do. That's why we try not to lie. We try to live our lives in such a way that we don't have to lie. And whenever you start lying, you have to continue to lie in order to maintain the lies that have already been said by you. And so Milker Nation, they've got the Owen Benjamin Bertaria fundraising scam. That's a brilliant one. I love that one. Owen Benjamin abuses his fans. That one's a great one. Owen Benjamin versus Joey Diaz, Stars of Death. Milker Nation music videos. The more important ones for me is the Bertaria fundraising scam, because it shows you exactly the words of Owen of the couple of years that it took to get to where he's at. If you're paying attention to him right now, he talks about the Ozarks, the crowd-funded land in the Ozarks. Well, was it in the Ozarks? Because it's cheaper in the Ozarks. And if you watch those videos of the fundraising scam, he is buying land in Idaho. And the reason why he's buying it in Idaho is because that's where he chose to, because of the laws and for the paramilitary forces, and that would live around where he would be living, and he would have protection. And he wanted a couple hundred acres so that he could have his homestead with his family, that the generous bears would purchase him. And then there would be a designated area for people that have paid the $400 minimum. They would have lifetime access to camping grounds. Now, ask the question, what happened to that? Because that's an important question. Hundreds of thousands of dollars were donated. Now, did he say that hundreds of thousands of dollars were donated? Not in direct words, but he did. The day that he did the live stream for the first Bertaria, he claimed, because his goal was $2 million, and he claimed that 10% of that was donated to him that very first day. Whether or not that was true or not, that's up for debate. But if you believe him at his word, then that's $200,000 that was donated to him the very first day. Now, if you watch the rest of it, he says that he got around 70,000, and you could tell with how he's answering that question, because it's day by day by day, and he always says 70,000. Now, there's one particular one that I want to focus on, right? This isn't the one that I was looking for, but this is important. Ursa Manor is his home, the home that he lives in with his family, that was purchased by people donating money to him. I don't really know if Ursa Manor was like a crowd-funded thing the way Bertaria was, but they're mentioning this while they're talking about Bertaria.
Ursa Manor is all the Bertaria we need? No, we got to go Bertaria. I don't feel guilty about fundraising anymore. I know for a fact if we pull it off, it'll save a lot of people's lives.
And if you listen to that, I want that to be a mental note inside your head, and you can actually take a physical note. He fearmongers. He says things in order to have a physical sway over you, to where if you donate to him, if you give him money, it is going to help you out in the long run. And all you have to do is look at all the former bears that he never helped out, because it was never intended to help anyone out except for his family. This is the particular clip that I was actually looking for. This one shows you how it is like a manipulative scheme, and he changes the words that he uses in order to not get in trouble, in order to not be found out.
Like, think about how hard it would be to kill 60 million babies. Like, to go into homes and do that. Like, by your 100th baby.
Okay, that's not what that's an insane thing to say out of context, but that's not what I was talking about.
Dude, we're doing awesome with Bertaria. You know, thank you all who's donated. I feel very supported and loved. Tomorrow, I'm sure I'll be spiraling again, but like today, I'm feeling so fucking optimistic. Dude, Bertaria is in your heart. We're gonna end up with a.
He's responding to people in his chat who are probably what he would call gammas, or they could possibly be even just concerned bears who have literally given money, and they're asking him where Bertaria is. And this was on the 4th of July of that year, so it was like 2020 or 2021.
Great place to camp. And if the world does go super sideways, people can live in tiny houses on my property. But
people can live in, if stuff does go sideways, there's that fear mongering again, and there's an empty promise of people can live in tiny houses on my property. There's nothing inside of him that's going to allow anybody to live in tiny houses on his property. Nothing. And if he ever does that, it's not going to be because he wants to. It's going to be because he has to. That's the only way that he's going to be able to maintain what he has worked so tirelessly for, which is a crowd-funded homestead that he lives on with his family by himself with 50 acres or 100 acres. I'm not too sure how big his homestead is right now, but it's certainly not entirely just because of him and his hard work. There was lies that built that road. The long driveway that he talks about was built on lies and broken promises, false, empty promises to the bears that donated to him. Multiple clips show if you give me money, it is a donation. Do not expect anything back. Directly after saying, if you give to me and it doesn't work out, I'll give you money because I feel wrong taking your money and not delivering anything.
Other than that, dude, things are going really good. Bertaria is in all of our hearts. I felt Bertaria this week. Dude, that's what Bertaria is. You felt it in your heart.
That way, if you gave to me, then you're not doing your due diligence because you didn't receive it in your heart. It's like those faith healers on TV. They promise you the world. They promise you all kinds of stuff. And if it doesn't work, give to my ministry and Jesus will heal you. Well, Jesus didn't heal me. Well, it's because of your lack of faith. He didn't promise you lifetime access to camping grounds.
Bertaria in Tennessee, baby. If you're in Tennessee, Bertaria is already in Tennessee. God, what a great 4th of July. America's fucking awesome, dude. Bertaria is in California. If you're in California, that's where Bertaria is. Guys, everything is action. Words don't mean anything. I think one of the reasons looking at my Bertaria donation list, it's unbelievable. And I started thinking, why are people so into I'm so grateful that people trust me and are like, I believe in you. Let's do Bertaria. And it doesn't matter what we're doing, it's going to happen. And I started thinking, why? So many people use their words as spellcraft nonsense. If you just use your words to transmit what you believe to be true, it's like it reverberates so strongly. And I'm so fucking pumped right now. Man, I fucking love America. Man, so fucking jacked up right now. I love the video of your son being followed by the goat. Show my daughter now she wants goats. Yes, that's Bertaria. Oh, and my family owns 350 acres in California. I'm now referring to it as Bertaria. Yes, dude, that's Bertaria. Bertaria! Should Bertaria have a flag? We already have a flag. We have to redo the flag, though, because I'm drinking a beer in the flag. Sorry if I've been a little stressed out the last week. I'll get back to normal. The Bertaria thing, it's such a beautiful dream, but the mixing money with it made me a little frantic, but now everything's smoothing out. And thank you all who's donated. We're going to do something awesome. But I was putting a ton of pressure on myself to start a town. And I was like, fuck you, leave me alone.
It was never discussed as a town. What he's doing right now is he's doing I don't know if you'd call it the bait and switch, but if you follow, go to Milker Nation or Owen Benjamin Highlights, they have all of these videos as well, and watch how it progresses, because he never He never promised a town. What he promised was camping grounds. What he promised was a Bertaria, a place for, well, I guess he did kind of promise a town, but he never promised that anybody would live there from the get-go. He would always say, I'm the one that owns this. I'm the one that is in charge. Nobody can do just what they want to. So it's really manipulative that he's like, there was a lot of pressure on me to produce a town. The week that he's talking about, I think this is the end of the first week of getting donations for Bertaria, and it's because a lot of people were giving him money, and they were giving him money on live streams where he was promising all of these grandiose visions of heaven and the Garden of Eden-esque type things. And so at the very least, it's interesting to watch a grown man kind of be very manic about something and then realize his mistakes that were made as it's going on. And it's because he was also talking to grown people who were listening to him and believing him. And then he comes back and says, what do you believe in me for? No, like, you're giving me money and I get to do whatever I want with it. And you're not allowed to ask for it back. It's a donation. And even if nothing happens, at least you tried. At least we tried. So what happened with all that money?
Was being a little bit of a psycho. I was like live streaming the other day, like, I only got 40 grand. I thought I'd get 2 million. I know why I said that. I know why.
And it's interesting to point out that he said that he only got 40 grand after he already declared that he got 10% of his $2 million goal. So however much money he was given, nobody really knows.
It was like, I'm just trying to logistically plan and shit. I'm not trying to get money. I'm going to profit zero.
That is a 100% genuine lie. That is absolutely a 100% lie. He said that he will not benefit or gain anything from it. He's buying land, and he continuously stated that 90% of it will be his. 10% of it will be the Bears. That was the longest running statement of Bertaria, the first round of Bertaria, that you can track, is that 90% of it is mine, 10% of it is yours. That's what I can promise. And so absolutely he benefits from this. And that's the most disgusting part about this, is because he does genuinely lie. He does genuinely mislead people. And that's the reason why I'm doing these videos, is hopefully somebody will see these videos, compare it to that fruit that he's hanging from the tree that looks so pretty and delicious, and actually realize that there's a big life-sucking worm that's attached to it.
But it sounded crazy. So, Bertaria needs to be over the ice wall. Yeah. Dude, do I think it's understandable with the fact I'm suing Patreon, dealing with the apocalypse, live streaming 4 hours a day, running a farm, and starting a village? Yeah.
Dealing with the apocalypse. Once again, the fear-mongering.
Stress gets to people, but I still hold myself to a higher standard than that. But anyway, and by the way, if you want to donate to Bertaria, hugepianist.com/beartrail. You don't see the people who said they donate and didn't apologize. I don't care anymore. I'm still pissed we didn't get the first Bertaria. We'll get Bertaria, Ryan. Judging by the amount I've gotten for Bertaria, the vast majority get it. It was like a handful of people that really sent me on a bit of a tailspin, because I had this like weird feeling that I was letting everyone down, and I blatantly am not letting everyone down. I think 95% of the Bears and people who listen really like my vibe and understand Bertaria.
The majority of people that I've talked to honestly consider Bertaria a great idea on paper. But whenever you have somebody saying, I get 90% of it and you get 10% of it, then that's not Bertaria. And then whenever you say, give me your money and expect nothing, that's another quote that I haven't brought up. He said that multiple times, give me your money and expect nothing.
And just want to contribute to something good. There's like 5% of people made me like literally think that I was making a horrible decision, and I was gonna like let everyone down, and that isn't true at all. So, so I'm past that spiraling.
Coming up, there's going to be a moment whenever somebody asks him exactly how much money, and I think this is it, how much money he's been given. And I want you to pay attention to his face and his eyes. And he's pretty good about hiding certain things, but pay attention to this.
Like, there was just like 10 total people that got me in this mindset where I was like, you guys don't fucking understand Victoria. How much you raised?
That right there, I will call it as I see it, and that right there is the face of a liar. That right there is the face of a deceiver. That person asked him, I believe he's intoxicated in this. I drink, so I'm not down. I'm not talking. Not saying that that's something that he shouldn't be doing, but I think in his state of intoxication, and I think it took him off guard. That right there is the moment where I knew that this dude is a genuine liar. And the reason why I believe that he's lying is because he doesn't want people to know exactly how much money was given to him, because he would say, clearly put Bertari on it. Now, if you look at it with a just balance, as these live streams were going on, his donations went up because he was promising something to people. That's the problem that I have with this. He was doing live streams while preaching a Bertaria fantasy and encouraging people to donate large amounts of money. He would take anything but large amounts of money. And then, like I said, after the first night, he said, I raised 10% of the goal. And then somebody says, well, what was the goal? He says, 2 million.
They can understand Victoria. How much you raised? I think like 70 grand.
He stuck with that number for so long. That's how I'm going to end this video. If you see that and you don't think that he's a liar, then I would love to hear your opinion. I personally believe with inside of me that if I was talking to him in person and that's how he acted, I would have been like, you're lying 100% without a shadow of a doubt. But anyway, look at the fruit of Owen and realize there's a worm in it. Look at Milker Nation. There's multiple YouTube channels. Detective Bill, Owen Benjamin clips, and of course the Texas Goat Radio Show. Right now I'm using another one of my channels as the Texas Goat Radio Show. That one is like the Texas Goat Radio. But I should be back on the Texas Goat Radio Show within the next 2 weeks. I think I've got 13 days left. But yeah, just pay attention. Connect the dots with this one. He is groveling right now to the masses, trying to make himself the most appealing to the largest amount of audience. And there's going to be some people that are going to fall for it. And that's one of the reasons why we're all doing these videos, is because I guarantee you there's more than 5, there's more than 10 people out there that he has screwed over personally. He never screwed me over personally. The reason why I am so invested into this is because of this clip right here. And clips like this one that show that he is a liar, that he is a manipulator, and that he is only in it for himself to get the largest piece of land possible. Look up the castle clip of his dream for Bertaria. He breaks it down within a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. 20 years, he wants to be in a castle with his lieutenants. This is the Texas Goat Radio Show. If you've made it this far, like, subscribe, go to my other channel, the Texas Goat Radio Show. It is sitting at like 91 subscribers. If you want to subscribe, that'd be awesome. And if you've made it this far, I appreciate it. Thank you. And as I always say, stay free, my guys.